Welcome to the future. The year is 5777. And to celebrate this milestone in creation in the 6,000-year Hebrew calendar, it's necessary to have a revolution, particularly here in America, which is a little world, that what we do here affects the entire world. And the revolution can take place on election day. If we all refrain from using money on one day together, we will establish ourselves as we the people. And the first thing that will happen as the revolution takes a hold and as the will of the people is heard, the Tower of Babel will fall. Oh, I thought the Tower of Babel fell a long time ago. Well, they keep building new ones. The latest one is called NASA, and it's out there looking for aliens. Every 5 years, they tell us, just give us more money, and we'll find the aliens. One wonders if they're not actually building the aliens. You can serve them up to the earth as the new master. But and it's interesting that in Congress, that whenever it's time to fund different programs in the government, NASA is always overfunded. And meanwhile, people are having a really hard time, not just on the earth, but in America, very wealthy America. And meanwhile, we're going, out to the planets, trying to get beyond the solar system. And we all have curiosity where we're at. But when it's based on a Big Bang theory and on evolution from microbial life into mammals, into human beings, speaking, articulating thoughts, it's just absurd. And that's the basis from which they are taking the resources of the earth and just expending them into the heavens. That's what they did in the Tower of Babel. And the reason they did it was the original Tower of Babel 4,000 years ago. The reason that they did it was that the leaders told them that there had just been the flood. And it's going to flood every 1,666 years. So they needed to go up and straighten the heavens out. Because this wasn't a happening that was a punishment from the Creator, but rather that this was just a happenstance that happens every so many years. And but the real reason was that they were making war with the Creator. They actually wanted to take the sustenance of the earth, called Shekhinah, and for themselves, and charge people on the earth to get it. They're actually doing the same thing today. And actually Mars was known to be the previous Earth, the previous world. That's why they went there. Actually, they didn't know exactly where they went. They didn't really know exactly where they're going. They went there and they found this plain. It's a whole story. And that's where Abraham grew up, in the Tower of Babel. There's many references. I wouldn't say references. There's many references, but they're all in Ramuzim. They're all like these hints. This kind of stuff is not written openly, but it's stuff you have to, after years of study, you start understanding the deeper levels inside of the Torah. And there's hints just throughout, and he came to this world and bringing the message that God is very involved in our world and involved in everybody's life. And where is God? That God is everywhere all the time to everybody. You have a problem in life, Bring it to the Creator. You're not too small or insignificant. Just bring it to the Creator. And he was famous in the Torah for making places in the desert where people could come and could refresh themselves and eat a wonderful meal and rest before going on their way. And in the end, they would ask, no, how much is it? Say, no, it doesn't cost anything. Just thank the Creator. And that's all the Creator wants from us, is to be acknowledged. The Creator made us this wonderful earth, and we're all free on this earth to do as we want. And there are certain basic rules called the 7 commandments of Noah, which are not to serve idols and not to use God's name in vain, and not to steal or to murder, to make laws about the environment, and particularly animals, and to make laws about sexuality so that we can, have rules in society, and last of all, to have courts of law. Not that serve the rich or that serve, corporate interests, but that serve, justice. And most people just want justice. Two people have a problem, each thinks that there's right. And if you go to the court, a just court, and you sit with these courts and you ask, who's right? You put the facts out there, and the court says, this one's right, and they both feel good. At least justice has been done. We know what justice is. And this comes up in life all the time, and shouldn't have to go into these actually secular courts, because their whole way of dealing with justice is what's called and not an aggressive, but it's like a fighting method. Whoever wins in the fight, that's justice. It's kind of like the Roman gladiators. But in Jewish law and in Sharia law, that the judge, one of the differences is that the judge asks questions of the witnesses, doesn't rely upon the defense or the prosecution. In Western law, the judge is like the referee. But in Jewish law, in Torah law, and in Sharia law, that the judge questions the witness, because the point of the trial is to discover what the truth is. And once people know the truth, even though you're involved, you say, oh, that's the truth, that's just fine, it's over. And so these are the 7 things we need to live in the world. And we do those, and we're free in this beautiful world. But the world has been hijacked from the people, done through using malicious methods of manipulation. And it's time to take our country back and take our world back, because this world, belongs to the people of the world. It doesn't belong to any particular people, but it belongs, to the people of the world. It says that the people, the first human being was made from dust from around the world, so that wherever the person died, the earth is going to take them back. And we all have that amount of earth that belongs to us in the world that we came from, we'll go back to. And eventually, what the 777 is leading to is the 7,000th year. Now we're finished the 6th, and we're in the process of merging with woman. And it's happening cosmically, and it needs to happen on the ground. And that is the purpose of this revolution, is to make our country a friendly, warm place to our women. Because when women are happy, men are happy. That's what men like to do. They like to make women happy. And we don't need the wars. We don't need the money. And we certainly don't need the politics and all the filth that comes out from this stuff. And we need our country back. So I hope that people will join in and make this kind of a movement. And and not to buy anything on election day. Anyways, and in the future there'll be more reasons and more lies uncovered to make it more pertinent and necessary that this happens as soon as possible. All right, welcome to the future.